terroristic tendencies. Yeah, I'm the bomb and I know it. You better back up off of me before I blow it. Bitch ass motherfuckers just know I'm itching to show it. I'm on one and you bitches on a whole shit.
Right. Welcome to the show, No Filter. The show where nothing is off limits. We don't aim to offend, but if you get hit, oh the fuck well. Once again, we have Kev. Say what's up, Kev.
Hello.
And the Mook. Say what's up, Mook.
Yo.
And after the presidential election in which the Orange Monster got elected, we are going to discuss all manner of things in regards to this election. Yeah, we're just going to let Mook and Kev go at it like they did the last time we visited y'all, because they're both crazy and I'm not. I'm normal.
I'm not talking about it. I ain't do shit. What? I was good. I wouldn't even talk. Wait, I was here last time?
Y'all two crazy.
Where am I? What? Who is this? What?
That's I'm done with y'all. Y'all crazy. Okay, how about this? How about I pose a question for y'all, right? Were either of you two surprised Donald Trump won the election?
No, I was not.
So what exactly does that mean? Why were you not shocked? Why are little cool white girls and cool white guys that are our friends in awe and flabbergasted that Donald Trump is now the president-elect of the United States?
Well, most of them thought they didn't vote in any of the elections because they figured Hillary would have won, and they didn't want to vote for the real champ, Bernie, who would have obliterated Donald Trump. And, you know, Hillary's had some recent question marks that have been pounded, and, you know, enough people are like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Plus, racism just is a big thing, and now we see that a lot of people like to be around racism and people who grab them by the pussy, apparently. So
you couldn't go without making a sexual reference. Damn, Kev. Okay, grab him by the pussy. Fuck it. All right, Mook. Wow.
That wasn't a sexual reference. That was a disgusting act of sexual assault.
Okay.
But I mean, if you think it's sexual, I'm going to question you from now on.
I mean, at the end of the day, grabbing people by the pussy is sexual assault. You're right. And that makes it sexual because the word sexual is in it.
Yeah, but it's not good without the. It's not good when it's false by the assault part. Now, if they want to grab by the pussy, I will. I'll let me. Okay.
Mookie.
Okay.
What did you take on why people were shocked that Donald Trump won the election?
I was like, you know, I gotta expand on what Kev. I mean, because pretty much what Kev said was pretty much spot on. I mean, people didn't take Trump seriously, so they just naturally assumed that Hillary was gonna win. And I agree with Kev. Like, they picked the wrong person to represent the Democrats. Like, Bernie would have killed that dude. Real shit. But it's just like you said, like, people, the slogan, make America great, just, that's what did it. That's what did it. I think that's what propelled him all the way, because people just think America was great at one point and is not now. But people that have been here know that America was never really great if you have skin that is the color of meat. So that's why I was never surprised. What color are you? I am I'm a caramel complexion, maybe a little mocha. I'm not really sure.
Are we talking about
Starbucks right now? What's going on? You asked me what my skin color. My skin color is caramel. I mean, I'm not black because black is dark. I don't know what black is. But
look, I'm just saying. Right now, it sounds like you're trying to do a personal ad. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't walk on the beach, I know what's going on.
You know what? Hey, I mean, I am outside in the moonlight, but I'm trying to make people understand that my caramel complexion is not black. I'm not black. I'm caramel. I'm just
So if a white person saw you, they wouldn't categorize you in just one category as being black.
Oh yeah, a white person would.
Well, so for all intents and purposes, you're going to say that because talking about making America great again for
your complexion. So we're gonna go with black just for the purpose. Okay, if that helps the demographic, that helps to move it along, then yes, I'm black.
Well, okay, now that we got that part out of the way, basically, what I heard y'all two say without necessarily saying it is that people are stupid and probably shouldn't be allowed to vote because they're stupid, because they didn't realize that it was a serious situation because the man had elevated himself to the Republican nominee for president. And one or the other has to win. And clearly, with all of the news coverage that was happening around Donald Trump's campaign and the way they surrendered Hillary, I can call her Hillary now because she didn't win. So, like Hillary, at the end of the day, y'all think Americans are stupid. For the most part.
More or less. I'm not gonna say they're complete. Like I think a lot of people just took it for granted. People just took the whole thing for granted. They really did.
So
look,
if I
don't think nothing. I'm stating facts. They're stupid.
Oh, thank you. Because I would say if I give you $100 a day to not smack me in the face, and then you smack me in the face, you're fucking stupid.
Wait, so, I mean, is this like a real thing?
No. It's not.
Oh. Alright. You had me hype for a second. I was like, shit, I need that job.
Okay. So, now, with that being said, what do y'all think about the rash of violence on both sides, surrounding Donald Trump's election? The rioting, the acts of vandalism, the grabbing the one woman by the hijab and taking it, like snatching it off her head and choking her and dragging her. The black veteran at Chili's, by the way, fuck Chili's from here on forever after. That was,
I co-sign that.
Right.
Chili's, you're dead to me.
They got kicked out of Chili's. They took his food right from him on camera. Because a white guy in a Make America Great get up said he didn't think that the guy was actually a veteran, even though he had documents to prove he was a veteran. What do y'all think about that shit?
I think it's something that's always been there, but now it's even more visible than it ever was before because of this. Because with this election, it's emboldened. Is that the word I'm looking for? Emboldened? Empowered? Emboldened? Is that a word? Emboldened? I don't know. Anyway, it empowered all these white people. Now they feel as though they have a voice, and now they can just do whatever the hell they want to, and they can just run with it, and they can just talk to people however they want to, and say little slick words. They try to replace one word with another word, and think we're not gonna catch the meaning behind those words, but it still means the same thing, no matter how you try to slice it.
Are you referring to the liberal word, Mookie?
Why, D? Yes, I am. That word, liberal, to me, is just another word for it. I'm not even going to say it. You know what? I'm not going to do it.
So yeah, right? Me and Mookie were having a conversation previously about the term liberal. While we understand the definition of liberal, the connotation of liberal seems to be thrown about by people from the opposite side of the aisle, meaning Republicans, Grand Old Party, conservative type folks, and alt-right. Sort of like nigger. It's like when they call a white person a liberal, they have that condescending tone, like they're saying nigger lover, and when they call a black person a liberal, it's like they're saying nigger without saying nigger. That's what we've concluded. We've concluded that based upon actual, interactions Mookie has had with people out in the world. I've heard it as well, but I'm quick to express that I'm not a liberal. Like, in no way shape. I have some liberal views and ideology, but make no mistake, I'm not a liberal. I am more of a progressive. I'm all about, arming yourself and, eye for an eye, justice, like biblical shit. Like you get one of mine's, I'll wipe out your whole area type thing. What do you think?
I think when people use that word, without saying it, they're saying that they're Republicans. And I think it's done every time someone says typical liberal. And like I see it all the time. I post it. Typical liberal news site, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, anything by liberal equality for all, then fuck it, yeah. I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. I'm like, but you guys say it like it's a bad thing.
I mean, I understand it's not a bad thing. Like when you put things into perspective, and someone says liberal, like the root of the word being like liberty, meaning freedom, I'm okay with that. Like I'm fine with the actual definition of the word. And when you talk about conservatism, you're talking about conserving something that clearly didn't do me any good. I mean, because you look like you got this large ass gap with slavery. So are you attempting to conserve that? I hope not. And then you got this long ass gap with Jim Crow and separate but equal, or are you trying to conserve that? And then you got the viciousness of the civil rights with the water hoses and the dogs and the lynchings. Are you trying to conserve that? I hope not. And then you got when they decimated the black community in the communities that we live in with crack and the war on gangs and drugs, which was a war on us. I'm not necessarily trying to conserve that. And then we get up to now. So what the fuck are you bitches trying to conserve is ultimately what I'm asking. But I get it. It's cool. Conservatism is your thing. That's what's up. Not mad at you. But I'm still not a liberal. I'm a progressive. I'm about progress, movement forward. However it has to come. So we've jumped on the grenade that is basically the covering of the overall thing. Like, and once again, as I stated before, the Electoral College proved itself to be exactly what it was. It's for the status quo to remain in their elite status while nullifying the popular vote if it doesn't so happen to go their way. And this is proof positive of what just happened, because Hillary won by like almost like 1.5 million fucking votes. So it's like 1.5 million more people wanted Hillary to be the president than Donald Trump. Right. I keep on calling him like the Orange Hulk, but that's not right. So he is the president-elect. Because he's angry and he's orange. So I just keep thinking Orange Hulk.
I like it. So
I'll say that's what his name is.
So I'm going to start with my personal experiences, and then y'all can, if y'all choose to share any personal experiences y'all may or may not have had, so be it. I personally received multiple like phone calls and emails and things of this nature with people genuinely being concerned for my safety, in which I reassured them that you remember who you're concerned about, and then the realization hit them that there's probably other people need to be concerned, not me. Like, if anything was to happen, you'd be reading about it on the news, not necessarily obituary type shit. I also had this interesting thing, it's like this interesting dialogue on Facebook, like, social media gangsters doing their thing or whatever, in which I'm having a jesting session with people that I know, and then someone interjects and tosses out all types of crazy rhetoric, and then the next thing you know, my life is being threatened. Like, literally, the guy told me he was going to shoot me. But he didn't know me, had never seen me or spoke to me or anything. Like, I guess he assumed that because I had a decidedly liberal stance in a joking comment that I don't also possess weapons. Fork, butter knives.
He was all messed up.
Like, yeah, he
was messed up.
I mean, before I get to be a weapon, so shit, I got a broom,
Yeah,
that's what they're acting in my house.
Like, I will go outside and break 3 switches and whoop his ass if I needed to. Like, that's the real. Like, that's that was effective back in the day. Get 3 switches, get a switch, come back with a little one. Oh no, take your ass back outside, get 2 more, braid them together, and really get your ass whooped. Right. So, I mean, that's always an option. Weapons of opportunity exist also. You know. Any experiences that y'all have had? It's shocking to me that all of this stuff is occurring because, you know, people understood before that they need to remain in the safety of their own existence and not spew their hate rhetoric outwardly toward other people. But now I guess, you know, Donald Trump did it, and fuck it, the president does it, I can do it too. Don't say nothing about taxes, Kevin.
You really nothing about I can honestly say I haven't had any experiences on the level, which is crazy because, like, even think about that. You think that's something that would happen to like me, but then I was like, when you told me about it, I was like, yeah, that's some shit that'll happen to me. That's somebody that's great in my life because you just don't see it happening to me. I was like even when it happened, I was bamboozled. I was hoodwinked. I didn't know what to do. All I could do was laugh.
I don't see where they could be confused because of his very pleasant and happy demeanor. I mean, it's like a big teddy bear.
Yeah, I know, but it was weird. I was like, why would they attack him like that? Why? No, not me. Never. Why? It was crazy.
I had someone tell me that words can hurt, and they're gonna say anything to me. I said, do it, bitch, and they didn't.
That happened. That happened. But like I said, I've never had any experience. I did have a conversation with a guy at work today, and that's where the whole liberal thing actually came up. Is because I know what it means. It's like I know what it means. I just don't like the way he said it. You can say something a certain way and it can affect people. It's like the way you like, well, you liberals don't believe in guns. Like, hold on, bitch. I got guns too. Fuck what you think. It's not like, don't get it twisted. Just like you said, just because I accept some of their views doesn't mean that's what I am. Like, I'm all about guns. Fuck what you're talking about. Don't look at me because you think you know something about me and you're going to tell me, oh, well, you liberals and the liberals. I'm like, did you say a liberal one too many times? I don't like the way you say it. Every time you say it, I'm thinking nigga in my head and you're starting to piss me off. And I'm not even a violent type of dude. Like, I'm a sweetheart. I'm the nicest guy in the world. But after a certain point, you're going to say something, you're going to keep pushing my button. That's the only real instance that I ever had. And I'm like, I ain't never got my life threatened, so I don't even know how I would react with my life being threatened. I don't even know how I would react to that. I'd probably crawl into a ball and die. I don't know. Scared.
I'm just gonna fuck with most of the guys on me on Facebook. They can take in my face, and they won't. So, fuck them. But I remove people from my Facebook. Family members, quote unquote, because blood matters, I guess. But, I've only seen people once a year my entire life. So I don't give a fuck. I remove them because them and their buddies want to comment on shit. But I don't really be giving a fuck. People can say what they want. They can threaten me all day. But when I say, send me your address, they quick to shut the fuck up. So I don't care.
Okay. That escalated quickly. I've also had a couple interesting conversations, surprisingly enough, with people who have, I guess the best word would be confessed their sin, because they weren't aware of the level of violence and deplorable activity that would surround the election of Donald Trump. So in conversation, people have they do the look around and then the look down like they're ashamed, and then they explain to me that they voted for Donald Trump, but not for the same reasons that the racist KKK folks and all of them other folks, they're quick to say, no, that's not why. Like, he stands for this, and that. Okay, cool. And then there's that mean that, what you're ultimately saying is, while he may align with you on some issues, racism doesn't necessarily negate the rest of it. Like, for me, I guess racism negates everything. Like, I don't fuck what you say. Like, if right now if they opened up membership to the Klan and said, you niggas can join now, and we're gonna give you scholarships. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna join the Klan. No, I'm good. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like, you know, like, it might not, there's probably black folks that will be like, yeah, we get to go to school and they're going to give us scholarships. I'm just like, but the history of the Klan means I can't join the Klan. Ever. And that's basically what happens. It's like, you know, they're cool with it. They're like, okay, we know racism. Like, he threw out the Muslim shit and the Jewish shit and the Hispanic shit and the black folk shit and his record in court shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Like, all the discriminatory practices and bigotry and all of that is fine because the other things are cool too. So it's interesting to talk to people, like people I actually know, like that I actually am okay with. And then when they tell me, like, then they don't have to tell me. I'm like, really, you could have just kept that to yourself. Like, it doesn't make a difference. I don't give a fuck who you voted for. Because last I checked, Obama didn't do nothing for the black community, and everybody before him was white. So having a new white guy really don't mean that much to me. I'm good. I'm still in the same boat I was in fucking 9 years ago. It's not a big deal.
True word. True word.
Kevin, comments?
Yeah, nah, I mean, I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers vote for, to be honest with you. They can vote for whoever they want. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still going to have to rely heavily on people to help him do the job. I mean, he didn't even know that he had to hire the staff in the White House when he becomes president and moves in. So he has a lot to learn, apparently. And so, I mean, I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. First of all, the fact that he needs to rely on other people because he can't do the job without.
Yeah, you know, like his inability to form a rational, cognizant, relevant thought on his own bothers me because the people who are behind him will have so much more control. It's kind of weird, like Mike Pence in his outwardly discriminatory stance against the homosexuals and his like anti-abortion rhetoric shit. Like, it's like this guy is next level nutso. So he's the vice president of the United States, or he's going to be the vice president of the United States. I'm like, wow. Like, if Donald Trump don't have his own ideas already, people like that fucking scare me. And then the white supremacist dude he just appointed to his cabinet. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, I will say though, look at all the push that Obama got and a lot of stuff he couldn't accomplish because of the fact that you need Congress to do a lot of things as well. So like I said, I mean, there's other layers that are going to be there that could potentially, and again, it's one of those, we have to see how it plays out, but there's other layers that could potentially prevent some of those extreme ideas and extreme things from happening.
Well, I would agree with that in a normal circumstance, but like Obama faced opposition from another party. Like Obama being a Democrat and the Republican opposition was insurmountable, obviously, because they put up a Veterans Job Bill and the Equal Pay Act, and they was like, nope, because we just want Obama to fail. Trump is going in, and they have the majority across the board. This is a super majority. Like they got everything.
So keep in mind, a lot of those guys spoke against Trump. So it doesn't mean that they're going to agree with everything that he says. Like there's got to, like I said, we have to see how it plays out. We can what it's all day about it.
Oh
but
yeah, definitely.
I still feel like we have to wait to see how it plays out. I mean, at the end of the day, any success that comes from Trump being president won't be necessarily his success. It'll be success of the people around him. Or fail, it would be the failure of the people around him. And his failure for inability of knowing what the hell is going on. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yep, cross that bridge when we come to it. Any other thoughts? Because this is just the presidential one. When we come back, we'll continue to be us. We'll continue to have no filter, but we'll discuss things that we actually give a fuck about. Because honestly, this political arena doesn't really affect us directly. Like everything that can come from the political arena indirectly affects us. So. We're just not that concerned with it at the end of the day. Like we've all lived in deplorable, socioeconomic statuses, and we come from that. We're clearly not in that now, and we understand that the reality of the situation is, every person before Donald Trump added to that anguish and hate that we come from. So Donald Trump can't do nothing but add to it. Like I'm not expecting the president to ever be my savior, ever.
Hey, look, man, we survived Bush twice. We might be all right.
Hey, look, I'm with you. Like Clinton, Bush, Reagan, Bush, like literally, like they're all on my list of hate and discontent. So, yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't say we'll call it nothing strange.
Gets a lot of praise for nothing, but it's all right.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. Just like you said, I mean, nothing's changed from one president to the next. It don't affect us at all. It's Tuesday. That's what it's Tuesday.
Well, I'm not necessarily it doesn't affect us. There are certain things that can be affected by the president,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
for the most part, and you know what, you learn a lot of this stuff. Like a lot of times these big companies, they don't care about anything but what benefits them versus what benefits the people. So they'll put all this money for the president because they're going to help them and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, we have a black president. Hey, look, racism's still at all-time high.
Right.
And people still get shot.
Yeah, more people died at the hands of the police during Obama's presidency than any other time in history. And like Clinton is heralded as a champion for the Democrats, and more people people of color were incarcerated during his presidency. So yeah, I'm with you wholeheartedly. Like this shit indirectly affects us. Like I'm not concerned. I'm really not concerned with any of them policies. Like people need to go there and vote for their state and local governments, not necessarily the president. Like everybody who say I didn't go vote, that's fine. Like I'm not mad at that. You still should have went and participated in the state and local part of it. Like even if you would have left the president part blank, clearly it didn't make a difference because the people voted for people voted for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump won. So clearly that part's not important. But you do actually have a say in who represents you. In Washington, D.C. and your local governments.
Though, I'm about to go on a little off topic here, but I find it funny. I find it one. I find it funny. So I find it funny how Colin Kaepernick openly didn't vote. And Stephen A. Smith, who at times I respect his opinion, felt the need to bash him for, again, Colin Kaepernick is getting bashed again for exercising his American right to vote or not to vote. And they're bashing him for it. And I'm like, well, who did he vote for the primaries? Did he find candidates they liked? Like, I voted for Bernie, and then I didn't vote in this election because I didn't give a fuck. Like, it was like, oh, Trump is racist. So is Hillary. Trump is a little bit more open about it. Hillary is racist. So, I mean, motherfuckers act like, oh, this racist is worse than this racist. Well, I mean, it's all right. I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. But,
I can't stop laughing. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm with you. It's like who you want to pick, the skinheads or the Klan? I get it. It's cool. Oh shit. Oh man.
But it's just funny how he gets bashed every time he exercises his American right to do something. I was like, oh, you stood up and talked about oppression, but then you didn't vote for the president. Okay. How would voting for Hillary help the oppressed?
Yeah.
I'll wait.
You're right. I mean, I'm like the Colin Kaepernick thing is interesting, right? I've felt this to be interesting for a while now, and I have one stance on the Colin Kaepernick thing. If you're watching the football game, sitting on your couch, and the national anthem begins to play, and you don't stand up off your couch and put your beer down and take your hat off, and you remain seated on your couch, you should probably shut the fuck up about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. That's the last thing.
I don't do it. I don't do it when I go to the game.
Yeah, like that's the last thing I'm going to say about the Colin Kaepernick thing. Like for me, it's a dead issue because the people who are complaining about it are the couch warriors who are sitting down watching the game at home, sitting on the couch. Like if it meant that much to you, then you should be standing up when it's playing at your house. And I know you're not because it doesn't make fucking sense to do so. Well, they're being followers. They're being sheeple. they're following. They're like, no one wants to sit down because everyone else is standing up. No, I'm good. Like, I paid for this seat. I'm gonna sit in it. So, shout out to Colin Kaepernick for being man enough to do that shit on a fucking very large stage in a public fucking forum with his platform and his fucking his level of superstardom as big as it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, I can't say that shit enough. Everybody complaining about it still sits on their couch when that fucking song is playing.
But I just find it weird that they're like, oh, you're out here talking about, this racism and oppression, and you didn't vote between Hillary and Trump. I don't understand the correlation. But,
well, there is no correlation. Like Colin had a right to not vote. He had a right to vote, like whatever. But Colin's comments made sense. Like, it doesn't change anything. Like, at the end of the day, like he's absolutely correct. So I'm for that. I'm for that freedom of expression or that silent form of protest of not voting. But when it comes to voting, I personally believe that people should get out and either form their own grassroots organizations to get some power behind their money and their beliefs and have their own platform so they can get the people elected that they want to in the state and local areas. I don't get, like, the president is the president. Like, no one honestly gives a fuck about the president. Like, the president interrupts TV shows for me. That's what the fuck the president does. Like, unless Obama was giving a cool speech at the end of the day when they preempted some shit that I was trying to watch because they're having a State of the Union, I'm fucking annoyed. Like, that's, I ain't never met the man. I don't know the man. I never sat down, chopped it up. I heard he smoked weed. He never came to smoke with me, so fuck that dude. His daughter still smokes. Nobody never like, yo, like, and give me the opportunity. I don't even smoke weed all like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker come through. Like, Obama hit the phone. Like, I know they listening and shit. Everybody listening to NSA, CIA, all that shit. I'm like, you hear me on the phone, whatever. Like, click in, interrupt the call, like, preempt the phone call and be like, yo, we got a pound. We gonna smoke you and Mook and Kev out. And we gonna meet y'all. You gonna come, we gonna get the Secret Service, we gonna sit in the back of the fucking presidential limo, and we gonna smoke this pound, we gonna fucking chop it up about what need to get done. I'm like, all right, cool, word. But that shit didn't happen. So, fuck them. All of them.
Yeah, they're listening, but do they hear us? You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, I'm with you.
But look, I don't need the weed, man. They can make these pills. I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Some oxygen on me straight. That's me where I want to be at. So we good.
By the way, I drink motherfucking gangster drink. Figure out the nomenclature.
If you don't know what it is, you are fucking dead wrong.
Exactly. Like, so just put that out there. Like, I'm gonna need MGD, and I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna smoke the whole pound. What I'm saying is bring us the pound, and we could do with the pound whatever we want. But we're gonna sit and we're gonna smoke one with you. Just so you know, like, if you want to come, bring presidential limo, the whole shebang, like, cool. But other than that,
you're not getting no shit back either. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, drop that off. Like, drop that off. Like, we smoke a quarter, and then we piece that quarter up between the three of us, and go back to our respective areas, and we'll have a supply or whatever, like whatever the fuck it is they want to do. But you can't take the weed with you. And I'm assuming it's gonna be good shit because it's the government, right? They confiscated somebody's weed somewhere.
They got it from somewhere.
They got the medicinal. Like, come on, come through. Oh, shout out to all the states that fucking legalize recreational use of weed, too. That's dope.
Oh, my God.
Right? Got a motherfucker thinking about moving and shit. And I don't even smoke.
I have to go to the VA.
I don't smoke
for my medical needs.
I just handle that. Like, I just want to, you know what? I want to move to one of those states so I can open up a candy store.
I just want the option.
Yeah, like,
I just want the fucking option.
Right. I just want to be able to open up a candy store. Like, I'm gonna find me a dispensary, and right next to it, I'm gonna open a candy shop that sells chips and candy and pop at a decent price. So you
can just make money.
Right. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool because I'm assuming it's gonna be like Amsterdam with the little cafe shops and shit. Like, because I know you can't. Like, even though Nevada and California has legalized weed, you can't cross the state lines with it. I don't know how that works, but you can't cross the state lines with it. Yeah. Like, right, that's ridiculous. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you got your little shop dispensary right here, and I got my candy shop that sells chips, and I want to have a place to sit down and eat your potato chips and your Doritos and your Snickers bars and drink your pop while you high as hell. It's cool. Like, really. And if you're there for more than 2 hours, I start charging you outlandish prices because you forgot how long you was there because you stopped clock watching already. I'm cool with this. I got this. Like, it makes sense to me. But no. On a real note.
Yeah, that's all I can hear.
There you go. Like, shout out to all them states that legalize recreational uses of marijuana and the ones that fucking finally got behind the whole medicinal use thing too. That's dope. Is there anything else that any of us want to add before we go off the air and wait until the next time we get together to discuss relationships again, but in specific terms, because we have some instances that we would definitely like to go over. We may even make another phone call or two just to see.
Oh yeah, because
some guys have to be put on blast.
Right.
On my ending comments, I'm gonna say it's cool that you states are legalizing all these narcotics for recreational use, but hopefully next we'll start legalizing being black. All right, I'm done.
Touche.
I like it.
Right.
I approve that message.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. No filter. Fuck y'all.